Have you ever been ignored by someone you care about and felt lost on what to do next? It's a tough spot, right? But here's the good news. There's a wise, stoic approach to handling it that can actually make your relationship stronger. Today, we're diving into some timeless advice on how to deal with the silent treatment. Stick with me because the insights I'm about to share are powerful, and you won't want to miss them. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher, once said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." This quote is a gem for situations like this because it reminds us to rise above the negative actions of others. Instead of reacting with anger or hurt, we keep our calm and integrity intact. We show that we won't lower ourselves to their level. But before we jump in, do me a small favor, hit that like button, subscribe to join our incredible community, and drop a comment below with the words "I rise above." This will be our mantra as we explore each point, reinforcing our commitment to handling tough situations with grace and strength. Now, are you ready to turn things around? Let's dive in. Principle 1. Embrace indifference to external opinions. Ever felt like you're at the mercy of someone else's moods, like a puppet on a string? It's time to cut those strings and dance to your own tune. Marcus Aurelius said, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." This means that we control our reactions, not the events or opinions of others. Imagine your partner suddenly gives you the cold shoulder. Instead of spiraling into worry or frustration, remind yourself, "I rise above this." This doesn't mean you stop caring, but it means you won't let their mood disrupt your peace. You might even make a light-hearted comment like, "Looks like someone's turned on their invisible mode," and then give them the space they need while you continue your day with a smile. This practice of emotional independence helps you stay calm and centered, no matter how others behave. You become someone who sails smoothly, even when others try to rock the boat. So next time you find yourself being ignored, remember Aurelius' wisdom: detach from the drama, keep your peace intact, and affirm, "I rise above." After all, your peace is yours to control. Principle 2. Reflect on the nature of relationships. Have you ever thought that maybe not every relationship belongs in the VIP section of your life? Sometimes we hold on to relationships that aren't actually good for us, much like keeping expired milk in the fridge, hoping it won't ruin your coffee. It just doesn't make sense. The philosopher Plato once said, "Every heart sings a song, incomplete, until another heart whispers back." But what if that other heart doesn't whisper back? It might be time to reassess the relationship. Whether it's a friend who's become distant or a partner who seems disinterested, this is a chance to reflect. Is this relationship still in harmony, or has the song gone off key? You might decide to have an open conversation, like saying, "Hey, I've noticed we're not in sync lately. What's up?" It's not about blaming each other but about understanding whether you both want to tune back in or if it's time to change the playlist. Remember, relationships are a two-way street. If you find yourself walking alone too often, it might be time to consider if this path is still right for you. Reflect on the quality and balance of your connections, and don't be afraid to ask if you're both still enjoying the same song. As we continue on this journey, keep our mantra in mind: I rise above, clinging to what no longer serves us, and embrace relationships that truly resonate. Principle 3. Cultivate self-sufficiency. Isn't it interesting how we often expect others to be responsible for our happiness, like waiting for someone else to color our mood each day? But what if you took back the paintbrush? Marcus Aurelius reminds us, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. Imagine planning a romantic dinner to mend a rough patch in your relationship, but your partner isn't as enthusiastic as you'd hoped. Instead of letting disappointment ruin your evening, find joy in your own company and the effort you put into the setup. You could even joke, "Well, I guess I made enough pasta to solve world hunger tonight." This shows you can find humor and happiness, even if things don't go as planned. Cultivating self-sufficiency means finding fulfillment within yourself, rather than relying on others. It's about enjoying that pasta dish on your own, appreciating your effort, and knowing that your happiness doesn't depend on someone else's reactions. So let's hold on to that paintbrush, whether in relationships or other areas of life. Remember, self-sufficiency is your secret weapon. It helps you navigate life's ups and downs with grace and a bit of humor. Whenever you feel yourself slipping into dependency, gently remind yourself, "I rise above," and take back control of your happiness. Principle 4. Use the obstacle as the way. Have you ever noticed that the things that frustrate us most in relationships are often the keys to our personal growth? It's like being stuck in traffic and realizing it's the perfect time to catch up on that audiobook you've been meaning to finish. The Stoic philosopher Ryan Holiday captures this idea with the phrase, "The obstacle is the way." This concept challenges us to turn obstacles into opportunities, using what seems like a relationship roadblock as a path to growth. For instance, imagine your significant other forgets an important date, like your anniversary. Instead of seeing it as a failure, see it as a chance to communicate your feelings and set clearer expectations for the future. You might even say, "Looks like we're both getting a bit too seasoned to remember dates. Maybe it's time for that giant calendar I saw at the mall." This approach uses humor to address the issue while opening the door for a constructive conversation. Using the obstacle as the way means focusing on solutions rather than dwelling on problems. It encourages us to ask, "How can this improve our relationship?" Or "What can I learn from this?" This mindset not only deepens our understanding, but also strengthens our resilience and empathy within the relationship. So let's embrace each challenge as a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. Remember, every tough moment in a relationship is an opportunity to practice patience, improve communication, and strengthen your bond. And as we navigate these challenges, let's keep our mantra close to heart, "I rise above." By doing so, we rise above the petty issues and see the bigger picture of personal growth and mutual understanding. Principle 5. Practice forgiveness. When someone ignores you or communication breaks down in a relationship, it's natural to feel frustrated or resentful. But what if we saw these moments as opportunities to practice one of the most powerful Stoic principles, forgiveness? Alexander Pope once wrote, "To err is human, to forgive divine." This quote isn't just beautiful, it's powerful. It reminds us that forgiving someone is a noble, almost sacred act. It's not just about letting go of anger, but about freeing ourselves from the weight of bitterness. Picture this: your partner forgets to call when they're running late. It's easy to let frustration take over, but what if, instead, you chose to forgive? When they finally arrive, you could make a light joke like, "I was about to send out a search party, but I guess you saved them the trouble." This not only lightens the mood, but also paves the way for understanding and reassurance. Forgiveness doesn't mean ignoring mistakes or pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing not to let small bumps in the road derail the entire journey you're on together. It's about acknowledging the problem, discussing how to avoid it in the future, and then truly letting it go. This creates a positive environment where both partners can grow, building trust and respect along the way. So, let's make forgiveness a habit. Each time we choose to forgive, we're choosing peace and strengthening our relationships. Remember, every act of forgiveness is a step toward a more compassionate and resilient partnership. As we forgive, we rise, embracing the mantra, "I rise above." We rise above the small disputes, reaching heights of grace and understanding. If you're still with us, it means this message is resonating with you, and that's fantastic. If you haven't already, take a moment to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and drop a comment with our mantra for today, "I rise above." This not only shows you're finding value in what we're sharing, but also that you're on this journey of growth and resilience with us. Now let's move on to the next principle. Trust your inner voice, especially when you're feeling ignored. It's crucial to listen to your intuition, that inner voice that often tells you more about what's really going on than surface actions or words. Shakespeare wisely said, "Trust thyself, every heart vibrates to that iron string." This means it's important to trust your own feelings and judgments, even when you don't have external validation. Imagine you're in a situation where someone you care about suddenly becomes distant. Instead of jumping to conclusions or letting worry take over, pause and listen to your intuition. Is this behavior out of character for them? Your inner voice might help you understand whether they're just dealing with their own issues or if there's something more significant going on in your relationship. Trusting your inner voice means taking a moment to reflect before reacting. Maybe it suggests giving them some space, or perhaps it nudges you to reach out and check if everything is okay. You might send a light, humorous message like, "Hey, just checking if you've been abducted by aliens since you've been so quiet lately. Everything okay?" Your intuition is a powerful ally in navigating relationships, especially when communication isn't clear. So trust that inner compass. It may not always give you immediate answers, but it will guide you to respond in a way that's true to yourself. As we continue to rise above, let your inner voice be the wind beneath your wings, helping you navigate confusion and uncertainty. Trusting yourself isn't just about making the right decisions, it's about making decisions that are right for you. Let's move forward with confidence and clarity to our next principle. Seek clarity through honest communication. When you're feeling ignored, it's easy to start guessing and overthinking. But guessing isn't a good foundation for any relationship. As George Bernard Shaw said, the single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. This reminds us that assuming we know how others feel or thinking they understand our silence can lead to misunderstandings. If you feel ignored, it might be tempting to mirror that behavior by withdrawing yourself. But a better approach is to engage in honest, open communication. For example, if a friend or partner has been distant, reaching out with sincerity can clear the air. You could say something like, "I've noticed we haven't talked much lately, and I'm wondering if everything's okay. I value our relationship and want to make sure we're good." This kind of communication not only addresses the issue but also shows respect and concern rather than confrontation. It demonstrates that you're not just reacting to being ignored but are genuinely seeking to understand and resolve any underlying issues. By breaking the cycle of silence with clarity and empathy, we rise above and build stronger connections. So let's embrace open conversations that can mend gaps and deepen our bonds. Honest communication is a bridge built on understanding and respect, and it's one of the most powerful tools we have for maintaining healthy, fulfilling relationships. Let's continue to use our words to heal, connect, and elevate our interactions. Next, we come to an essential principle: maintain your virtue, even when you feel ignored. It's tempting to react in kind when someone treats you poorly or to let your standards slip to match their behavior. But the Stoic principle of maintaining your virtue, regardless of others' actions, is key. As Epictetus wisely advised, don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. This reminds us that true strength and character are shown not just in what we say, but in how we live, especially under pressure. For instance, if someone you care about starts ignoring you, maintaining your virtue means continuing to treat them with kindness and respect, no matter how they're acting towards you. It's about rising above petty reactions and keeping your dignity intact. You might keep your interactions light and polite, maybe even throw in a bit of humor to show you're keeping things in perspective, like, "Hey, just wanted to make sure you hadn't turned into a statue. You've been so quiet." By doing so, you not only preserve your self-respect but also leave the door open for the other person to re-engage without awkwardness or resentment. Maintaining your virtue in these situations is a testament to your character and often inspires others to reflect on their own behavior. So let's embody the mantra, "I rise above," by living out our highest values in all interactions, regardless of the circumstances. Staying true to our principles is not just about self-respect, it's about leading by example and creating an environment where respect and kindness prevail. Finally, let's talk about the power of visualization. Have you ever reacted to being ignored in a way you later regretted? It happens to all of us. Stoicism teaches us to prepare for life's challenges by visualizing our ideal responses beforehand. As the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing." This means that being proactive and prepared is key to maintaining our composure, much like a wrestler who anticipates their opponent's moves. Handling being ignored, a Stoic approach. Have you ever felt ignored and found yourself reacting without thinking? Instead of acting on impulse, take a moment to imagine how the best version of yourself would handle the situation. Picture yourself responding with patience, wisdom, and maybe even a bit of humor. For example, if someone close to you is giving you the silent treatment, instead of getting frustrated, you could lighten the mood by saying, "It seems like we're playing a game of who can stay quiet the longest. I think you're winning. But I'm here when you're ready to talk." This technique of visualization not only prepares you for real-life situations, but also helps you stay calm and manage your emotions better. By mentally practicing your ideal responses, you make sure your actions match your values, so when the time comes, you react thoughtfully and with purpose. Visualization is more than just daydreaming. It's a way to turn possible conflicts into opportunities to grow and connect. When we anticipate and rehearse our reactions, we can handle challenges in a way that stays true to who we are. This doesn't mean everything will always go as planned, but it does help us stay composed and graceful even when things don't go our way. Think of visualization like practicing for a play. Just as actors rehearse their lines to deliver a great performance, visualizing your responses helps you express yourself clearly when it matters. This practice is especially useful in relationships, where emotions can run high, and the wrong word or tone might make things worse. Moreover, by using visualization to prepare for these tough moments, you learn a lot about yourself. You start to recognize what triggers you and what responses don't serve you well. This awareness allows you to develop healthier, more constructive reactions over time. Every scenario you visualize and every response you rehearse builds your emotional resilience, making it easier to navigate complex interactions. As we embrace the mantra, "I rise above," let's add visualization to our toolkit for dealing with being ignored or misunderstood. By preparing ourselves mentally for these challenges, we not only improve our interactions but also strengthen our character. This approach allows us to handle life's difficulties with grace and humor, turning potential conflicts into moments of learning and connection. Remember, every time you choose to respond thoughtfully, you're not just preserving relationships, you're also building a stronger, more resilient self. Let's keep using visualization to refine our responses, so we can face each situation not just adequately, but with excellence. This is how we rise above, by preparing, practicing, and embodying the best versions of ourselves, no matter what challenges come our way. Detachment from outcomes. When you're ignored or overlooked, it's natural to hope for a certain outcome, maybe an apology, a change in behavior, or at least some acknowledgement. But one of the key lessons of Stoicism is learning to detach from the outcomes of our actions. The philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens." This means that while we can control our actions and intentions, we can't control how others will respond. Imagine you've taken the step to talk openly with someone who's been distant or unresponsive. You stay true to your values, maybe even add some humor to keep things light, and approach the conversation with kindness and clarity. Despite all this, the other person might still choose to stay distant or completely unresponsive. In these moments, it's crucial to practice detachment from the outcome. This helps you maintain your inner peace and avoid feelings of discouragement or resentment. For instance, if you reach out to a friend who has been ignoring you and they don't respond, remind yourself, "I rise above." This mantra reinforces that you've done your part well, and it reminds you that their response, or lack of it, does not define your worth or diminish the value of your efforts. Detaching from the outcomes of your actions doesn't mean you stop caring about your relationships or stop putting in effort. It means finding peace regardless of the outcome. It's about recognizing that true happiness and peace of mind come from within, not from the external validation or responses of others. This detachment isn't about being indifferent, it's about maintaining calm and balance. It's about accepting that we can't force others to act as we wish, but we can control our own actions and reactions. This realization frees us from the exhausting cycle of expectation and disappointment. By focusing on what we can control, our actions, attitudes, and integrity, we align more closely with Stoic principles, leading to a more serene and content life. Detachment also improves our relationships. It allows us to interact with others without pressure, manipulation, or unrealistic expectations. People are more likely to respond positively when they don't feel forced or expected to act a certain way. Detachment creates a genuine environment where relationships can thrive on sincerity and mutual respect. As we continue to embrace the mantra, "I rise above," let's strive to detach from the outcomes of our interactions. This approach not only preserves our inner calm but also empowers us to stick to our values and virtues, no matter what the outside world throws at us. Remember, it's not about the response you receive, but the dignity and peace with which you handle the situation. By focusing on our actions and letting go of our attachment to specific results, we achieve greater personal tranquility and open ourselves to the true essence of Stoic freedom, living in harmony with whatever life presents. Conclusion. And there you have it, friends, our journey through the 10 Stoic principles on how to handle being ignored. Each one is a stepping stone toward greater resilience and understanding. We've explored how to keep our cool, communicate effectively, and detach from outcomes, all while holding our heads high and staying strong in spirit. Thank you for sticking with us until the end. Your engagement and presence truly make this community a strong and supportive space for everyone. Now, I'd love to hear your stories in the comments below. Share a time when you were ignored and how you managed to handle it. Did you rise above? What valuable lessons did you learn from the experience? Your shared experiences are not only inspiring but also help all of us learn and grow together. If today's message resonated with you, don't forget to embrace and share our mantra for the video, "I rise above." Drop this phrase in the comments to show that no matter the situation, you choose to rise above negativity and challenges. Your comments serve as a beacon of inspiration for others and help spread the powerful message of resilience and inner strength. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with anyone who might benefit from a bit of Stoic wisdom on handling being ignored. Remember, each share extends the reach of our message and empowers more people to rise above their challenges. Thanks again for joining us today. Embrace I Rise Above, as we support each other on our journeys toward emotional freedom and inner peace. Until next time, keep rising above and shining bright.